Mr. Great, Mr. Pumpkin, how am I to address you?
This is the Great Pumpkin. There, I didn't mean to scare you. That was my Halloween voice. When confronted with a mob of hobgoblins, it's best not to vacillate. So many of the little children who come to see me don't seem to know their own names. I try to set a positive example for them by pronouncing my own name with vigor and authority. Hopefully, as they become adults, they will learn how to stand forth and be recognized. This is one of the great lessons I have come to teach. Through the practice of standing forth and being recognized, they will also learn a parallel truth of interaction. Everyone deserves to be recognized.
Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Only if you promise to believe it. So many of you humans choose not to believe. I didn't consent to be interviewed in an attempt to convince non-believers. I consented to be interviewed to deepen the comprehension of those who do believe.
Well, how can I prove my belief besides just saying, I believe? How do you know I'm lying?
I'll know soon enough, and you'll know, and you know I'll know too. So we're good. I'll proceed. I come from the deepest, most unexplored parts of what is now the Amazon basin. But in my origin, all land on the earth was one mass, which your scientists call Pangea. This was about 350 million years ago. I might point out that this same cradle of life for pumpkins is also the cradle of life for human beings, since the Amazon basin and the heart of Africa were once part of the same central landmass. At any rate, we have not been able to ascertain one critical point about pumpkinhood, and that is this: which came first, the pumpkin or the vine? And this question cannot be answered any more than you can tell me who it is that instructs your heart to beat. Some call this origin of life God, but whatever we call it, we all come from the same source.
I'm going to have to get you to fly a little closer to the ground here. How long have you been visiting Lookout Mountain?
I first arrived at the Kingdom of Marvin Lane in 1961. I had known, through the vine, so to speak, of the creation of a small kingdom of exceeding sincerity for a couple of years here on Lookout Mountain. That year, the young son of the first couple to buy a house on Marvin Lane was sick and could not go trick-or-treating. So I decided to inhabit their jack-o'-lantern and entertain the little boy. I found there was a need for pumpkin-human interaction, so I've been doing it ever since.
So there are a lot of questions about you. You know how you came to be. Just questions about whether, real, like human beings are real.
Well, ask away. Maybe you'll discover you are interviewing a phantom. I sure hope not. I like talking to you.
I guess the first technical question is, how do you get here and up on the Stein's roof?
We should probably start all of the answers about whether or not the pumpkin is real by saying this: much of what you perceive about the pumpkin says more about what's in your heart than it does about what your eyes are seeing. I come every Halloween because it's a day of great frivolity and people put masks on their faces and open their hearts. Although they call it make-believe, it is in reality a day of childhood celebrated and even indulged. Whether I come by levitating my way through the skies as an Amazonian Peppo or by inhabiting a fiberglass jack-o'-lantern is really a matter of your preference, not mine. Either way is fine by me, whichever you can fully believe.
We see you speak, but your lips don't move. Why not?
Whether you see my lips moving or not depends on whether or not someone ever lied to you. You've heard the phrase, you can tell he's lying because his lips are moving. I never lie. So if your mind has any hint of mistrust, it will appear that my lips don't move. But little children who have yet to perceive prevarication see the moving lips of the great pumpkin.
How do you manage to look right at me all the time? And everyone seems to think you're looking at them too. How do you look at everyone simultaneously?
I am the great pumpkin. Some may ascribe my perpetual gaze to the physics of geometry, cones, and bolo balls, but I assure you this, I watch you wherever you are with the attention of a mother and the intention of a father. I am interested in you, and I love you forever, always, and completely.
Wow. When are you coming back?
This year, due to the virus, I have decided it is best not to have a huge gathering of human beings together in one place. But next year, I will be back. For now, I have decided to take your questions on Facebook this evening at 7 o'clock and to present these short videos to remind you all that the great pumpkin is here and he loves you.
It's been an honor, Mr. Pumpkin.
The pleasure has been ours. Thank you. You are a most excellent hobgoblin.